I do think I remember seeing that same soldier 3 years ago, so that's a good idea of time. They were the first scout fleet sent to Paradis after Reiner came back. So that does kind of throw a wrench into the... So either this scout, Yelena, went over because Zeke wanted them to, in regards to like be a messenger of some sort, or like talk to Aaron or the people over there, or the people on Paradis did convince at least some of these scouts to be on their side.
So then we have to talk about, what were they greeted with when they got to Paradis? Were they immediately attacked like Marley believes? Or were the ones that were Zeke sympathizers waving little white flags being like, hey, I'm a Zeke sympathizer, let me in, and they killed everyone else? Or did they really show mercy to these people and be like, hey, this is the truth, you want to see it for yourself? Like, you know?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting question.
And I feel like Onyon Kompon is what his name is. Yeah. Next to Yelena in this picture, I believe. And it makes me wonder if both of them were, that's the question. Were they Zeke sympathizers who were allowed in and to stay alive because of that? Or did Paradis show mercy to all of these ships?
I don't know. I hope we get to see it.
I really doubt that if they didn't... If you think about Hanji as how she would handle military, I don't... And Armin, if she trusts Armin's opinion, I don't believe... Because these are humans... And they've spent all of this time fighting Titans. It's different. It is way different to fight people. And I feel like Hanji would still want to avoid that if she could. If she could. And I feel like that leaves me room to think that they didn't immediately kill these ships when they showed up.
Yeah.
Give them a chance to surrender. Give them a chance to see the truth for themselves. And then... we'll deal with them. Maybe they immediately put them into cells. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I scrolled over the beginning when Reiner as Armored Titan grabs Jaw back, and it's like also when Reiner's missing a jaw, he's like, I want my jaw back. But a couple quotes that I picked up on or just wrote down were Levi's comparison of Aaron's face to the people of the underground. What do you think the feeling that is the same is? What do you think the shared emotion is? I don't know, maybe like a loss of the like humanity, a dead inside, an emptiness. It's like a loss of hope, right?
Or that they're just like they've been too hardened that they don't truly. Okay, if you think, but then he's not comparable, because if you think about the kids in the underground, they don't trust anyone. Levi didn't really trust anyone. It was hard to trust people. You had to be really picky with the people that you let in and trust. And Aaron leans on his trust for people he loves a little too much. But I think it maybe was closer to this kind of seeing the world in a bleak manner. Like, maybe it's that their viewpoint of the world is that it's always going to be a hell. And maybe that's what's comparable, is that in his eyes, it looks like the loss of he doesn't have any hope for a happy world. It's like a certainty
that there will never be anything better or no hope. It's like somebody who's been in the underground long enough to see that there's no getting out and that these people are going to die in these horrific ways. It's such a definite feeling that like,
well, that's a good word. Like, he's definitively decided for himself that the rest of his life is going to be hell, getting through it. And hopefully he could get to a light, but maybe it's another hell. He isn't saying there's a light at the end of the tunnel. He's saying there's possibly another hell at the end of the tunnel.
Well, and that's what I'm wondering why? Like, has Aaron appointed himself or finds himself thinking that he's in the role of a Jesus Christ-like figure where he has to die or use himself to let everybody else to be free? And right now is his expression of doing the work that needs to be done before his limited time is up.
And in a way, he's using his own body recklessly in order to achieve that.
Yeah, okay, he's trying to get as many Titan powers as he can right now,
right?
Yeah,
gotta catch them all.
Yeah, gotta catch them all, but he's the Pokemon trainer, and the Attack Titan was his Pikachu, Like this is his.
Or we could think of them as gym badges.
That's true. I don't know.
I mean,
who was Ash's second Pokemon? Was it Caterpie or Pidgey?
Staryu?
No.
It was a bird. Was it Pidgey?
It's Pidgey maybe, or Caterpie. I know he fought a Metapod pretty early on.
Oh yeah, but wasn't like Misty really scared of bugs?
It was before he met Misty. It was when he was like leaving Pallet.
Oh well, he never would have kept a bug Pokemon with Misty around.
No, he would just to, like piss
just
Misty.
To mess her. Okay. I took and destroyed your bike, and now I'm gonna have bugs around you all the time.
Yeah. My Pokemon timeline's all messed up. I need to rewatch. But
marathon Pokemon here on the channel.
So I thought that was Aaron's expression caused that reaction from Levi. I thought that was interesting. Levi is also an interesting character right now. But Flock, the new Eldian Empire, that's the goal seemingly, right?
So it's so weird to hear them use words like that. Like the people from Paradis.
Yeah.
Obviously there's been a time skip, and I think we said at the beginning of this episode that we are now unsure of how long this time skip has actually been. I think
about 3 years, 3 to 4 years.
And
after the Yelena thing.
It's so weird to hear them talk about it like that, like they're now using this term that they never knew existed, which is Eldia.
Mm-hmm.
And Flock's interesting in general because he's there to show us someone who, you know what really he is, and some of the other like soldiers that were there with them, the other scouts that were with them, they are there to show us a contrast with our lovable cast of friends who we've been with from the beginning, who are like Aaron, like they're not all necessarily on Aaron's team at the moment. Like they came and rescued him, but they are not a fan of the actions that he took.
Yeah.
And I feel like Flock and the other people might be like, wow, Aaron made such a great call and we had a victory. And they're so focused on this like grand goal of like getting revenge, where I feel like Jean and Sasha and Connie and Hanji and Levi were like, is revenge really worth losing our friends? So it's like there is this like relationship comparison.
This is exactly why I suggested that there's a potential of Aaron feeling some sort of self-imposed omnipotence, because on the base level, you have people like Hype Train Flock, who has been saying that we needed because he's been saying that we needed to keep Erwin alive because we need somebody that's like a devil.
Well,
now Aaron's the new devil, and Flock and these people are like, yes, this is the way to do it. Revenge. We're going to kill these people so that we can finally be free. New Eldian Empire. Love it. And then the next level 2, we have our group who feels a little funky about it and is kind of like, I don't know if this is the right way to do it. And then on that third level for me is Aaron, because I have a very hard time believing that Aaron is doing what he's doing for the same reasons that Flock is happy about what has been done and how this is a victory, because you don't see Aaron partying. This isn't, he's doing this for a reason that isn't ready to celebrate.
He hasn't seen the true victory.
Yeah.
Like, if we think about, and also the comparison can be between the two rooms. We have a room where people are not celebrating and a room where people are. And Jean and Connie and Sasha were kind of on the outskirts of this partying, and they weren't really a part of the cheering and the hugging. They were just there in that room. And they cross over into the other room in multiple scenes. I don't mean they stay in that room, but they are seen present in that room.
Yeah.
And it's like this somber, this isn't true victory, and this so exciting. It reminds me of what we got earlier on in the season of everyone from Marley, all of the Eldians in that train car, leaving the battlegrounds, and they're all celebrating. And obviously this is way different, but it was such a similar energy to me of like it's something naive to it. Like you're celebrating this as a victory, but there's so much more like issues to come, where all of those Eldians were celebrating this victory, and it felt weird and heavy to watch it because of the fact of how badly they're treated by the country they're fighting for. And how they were basically, like, strapped with bombs and were going to just be, like, sacrificed.
Yeah.
And then here we have a similar picture of, like, these are sacrificial pawn people, unfortunately. These background scouts that we don't know to this war, and it's a small victory that doesn't ensure safety and happiness in the future.
I'm thinking to Aaron and Zeke again because in my mind, they did this, like, there could have been if they're on the same team right now, or at least, you know, working for the same goal at the moment, what's been shown to us, maybe. Then obviously there have been there's discussion beforehand to some degree. There could have been a lot of different ways to go about this if all you wanted out of it was Zeke. Mm-hmm. That's not all we got. In my mind, Zeke and Aaron had been communicating about how to get the Warhammer Titan, because
they were also trying to get Cart and Jaw.
I think specifically the Warhammer Titan, because for either a reason that we don't know yet, or because the Warhammer Titan's fucking insane, because we saw that, or because they didn't know what the Warhammer Titan was capable of in that degree. We knew, and Zeke knew, and Aaron knew what Jaw was capable of and what Peak was capable of. Even when they're like maxed out, Peak has the artillery. Sorry, I don't know why it's okay. Artillery, or Jaw has like all the, you know, bone. Like Zeke knows Jaw. That. What Zeke possibly doesn't know is who has the Warhammer Titan and what it's capable of. And that's what ended up drawing it out, the events that transpired. So I'm wondering if there is something that the Warhammer was needed for, or what I'm connecting this back to is, are we really going in the direction of the show that Aaron and Zeke and their main goal is to get back to Paradis, unleash the rumbling, and wipe out the entire world?
So I'm going to go back to what you asked right before that about, God, I don't know how to phrase it. Oh my gosh. So I think with this the actions that were taking place here, I think you asked, like, was Warhammer the goal or something all along? I think the goal was to get all of them, but I think it was like kill two birds with one stone kind of situation where they're like, we could draw out Warhammer and get Warhammer and also get the Cart Titan and Jaw Titan at the same time.
Yeah.
So they like, let's try to, an all in one event, just like one swoosh, we'll grab them all and then we'll go.
Why? Because,
I don't know, like, because Zeke only has maybe a year left. And I'm like, I think I've theorized before that it's possible that they want to rebuild Ymir, you know? Like, so that's where I'm going with it. You know, and Historia is that person, maybe, with the royal blood.
Well, here's a question. Do they know something about having... In my opinion, you don't need all the Titan powers to rule the world right now, or to like be them, or to trample the world. In my opinion, you need the founding Titan and then something of royal bloodline so you can control Titans and have the rumbling. Mm-hmm. Is there something that we don't know that only can be done if you have all 7? And I also answered
there is a perk to get Jaw.
Yeah.
That's to get Annie.
That's true. But like having all of the Titan powers. But I did also answer one of my questions thinking about it. Of course, Aaron wants Zeke here because one of the last things we heard Aaron thinking about in the courtroom was his fear of what would happen to Historia, because like
he doesn't want Historia to have to be the brunt of all of this. He doesn't want her to have to suffer. As
far as we know, Aaron's one of the only people who do know the truth about what it takes to be able to control Titans, mm-hmm. right? We don't know that if he told Hanji these things or told anybody these things, you know? Zeke could also know it because of, you know...
But Zeke does phrase here the royal blood aspect.
Yeah.
In front of Levi and Hanji and Jean.
That's
and it makes you think that maybe as the time has passed and Aaron wrote all these letters, that the truth is known at this point, and maybe Armin would also know, because Bert Holt probably knew that if someone with royal blood,
true.
It's like they never had someone with royal blood, but even I believe like when Kruger is shutting up Grisha, like, don't say who she is, he's like reprimands Grisha, being like, if they knew who she was, they would use her, and Grisha immediately understands this concept. So I feel like Armin might also have understood that same thing. Aaron also had the line of like, it's gonna buy us time. Yeah.
Like,
what are you gonna do with that time?
Yeah.
What's the play?
This is what I'm talking about. Like, what is the play? What are we really at a point where Zeke and Aaron's ultimate goal and motivation right now is to have the rumbling occur and wipe out the rest of the world so the new Eldian Empire can live at peace? Because, like, I'm a little conflicted with that, and I wonder how that would end up as, like, a ending to a story, you know?
Do they want?
What do they need time for?
Do they want to take down Marley? Do they want to show the world, like, hey, stop beating us up, and rebuild their nation, but not necessarily as a power-hungry nation, but just have freedom? Because I think what Zeke even says is Eldia's freedom, and I think that doesn't have anything to do with I want Eldia to take over everywhere and be the strongest powerhouse nation out there. It just means keep us. And if they needed to do that in order to stay free, then he would do it.
There will never be any true freedom as long as other people are alive. Couldn't you see that being like a take? Like,
I could see some people feeling that way.
It's only a matter of time before, you know.
It's only a matter of time before they come and attack us and try to steal the Titan powers.
Which is a route I really don't know how. I don't know, man. I'm trying to think what you'd come to at that point. Would you come to a potential disagreement when Levi, Mikasa, Armin realize what Aaron's goal here and Zeke's goal here is, and then try to stand up to it? Are we looking, like, I'm trying to think what's the next enemy? Is it still Marley? Because they're pretty beat up, man. And I know they have 3 Titans, but, like, the scouts don't exactly know what Aaron's thinking right now either.
They have 3 Titans, but they have one that is a wild card in terms of how good in a fight he would be at the moment, and that is Reiner.
Yeah.
And also, Peak as a Titan isn't a fighting Titan. That is not like Peak's purpose as a Titan, the cart Titan. Obviously, that's why there has to be the artillery on the back, because Peak isn't meant for fighting.
I don't know, man. What do you think Aaron is buying time for? Buy us time.
Buy us time to
regroup,
to build ourselves a strong army with weapons and fight. I mean, so we could think about it that way, like military advancement. Because I feel like when we first got introduced to Marley, we were hearing about military advancement, and when we see them on this airship, it either was an airship that was on the ships that went to Paradis and they took it, or they had people that had knowledge from Marley. The people that went there on the ships had knowledge of how airships worked, and Paradis has now been able to build their own. Could be either one of those things. Maybe Zeke purposefully sent over how to do it, plans.
We look at who's right next to Aaron when he's saying that, it being Zeke. The difference here is that we have royal blood and we have a Titan here. It does it have something to do with the royal blood connection, whether it's the rumbling, or what if Zeke and Aaron are like, all right, let's wipe people's memories, or like, all right, let's change people's memories, or let's bring back the people of Paradis's memories, even though that it's generations later. I don't know.
Or it could be that buy us time to come up with a plan. If Aaron hasn't been there and he's been writing all these letters, but he's been writing the letters about this specific plan that just happened. That doesn't mean he has anything planned for the future and how to prepare. And he hasn't been in Paradis to meet with Historia, meet with Hanji, and meet with Levi, for all of them to put their heads together to come up with a plan to protect Paradis from all of the other nations. Buy us some time could literally just be, buy us some time to actually sit down and get to, like, discuss what we're gonna do next.
Yeah, but the look on his face isn't changed, which makes me think that this is, like, all continuously going according to plan. Even at the end of the episode, the first time we saw his face change was when Sasha died.
But I don't know if his face being like that is because he has an elaborate plan, when we hear from Levi that his face looks like the kids underground.
That's true.
I feel like his facial expression is more just to reflect how he has hardened himself to just be able to trudge through hell without getting burned.
That's true. I think one of my favorite things this episode, we already touched on it, but Falco, the dynamic between Falco and Gabby, and how Falco knew of the revenge idea. I think that's so interesting.
I think that's a perfect thing to bring up now, as I feel like both of us are kind of like at the end of the things that we've wanted to talk about. And that is, what are we going to do with Falco and Gabby? What is happening? These miscalculations, what is to come of them?
When I was born, my mom told me I was a miscalculation. I don't know what we're going to do with them. I imagine that we aren't going to kill children.
No.
I still think that Falco needs to end up with a Titan.
Mm-hmm. Which we've been led to believe is going to be Reiner's Titan. And how is Falco going to get Reiner's Titan if Falco goes to Paradis?
I almost want them to be like, here's a Titan power, Falco. It's so cool. And he's like, no, I want the Reiner one. I want the armored one. And he like waits for it.
So that Gabby won't get it.
Yeah. God, when he was like on Gabby's leg going up to the ship, he was like, I'm gonna be the armored Titan. I was like, my emotions.
And like Gabby there is like basically saying to him, like, you're one of the good ones. And she's totally genuine in this goodbye. Like, she's literally saying goodbye to him here and doesn't want him to come with her, obviously, because she knows this is suicide. She knows that she is probably gonna die as soon as she gets up there and shoots one bullet. And I'm like, wow, to know that you could only kill one person, but you're still gonna put yourself in that position.
Isn't it something Eren would have done?
Yeah, like, I got one of you. But, you know, it cancels each other out when they get you after. So it's like, it's not like you killed the most important person in the room. You didn't shoot Eren Yeager. You shot someone that is basically just a soldier.
Someone who's standing in the way to get to Eren Yeager.
Yeah, but there isn't I don't know, how could she... It's not like she went up there thinking she was going to shoot a bunch of people.
I think she went up there thinking she was going to do whatever it needed to be done to get to Eren Yeager, and that's all she let herself think about.
But as soon as she shot someone, she doesn't try to shoot anyone else.
Yeah, reality
It's like almost like is there some shock value to her? Were they too in close range that she was immediately overcome by all of these people who were then grabbing her and punching her? Is it... I don't know. I mean, the gun was probably hard to, like, quickly reload, so...
Yeah. We got mid-roll around 1432. I've started writing down, like, the times, because sometimes I forget to go back to the mid-roll, but it's been helping me. But Funimation's timestamps aren't the best, because it says it's here.
Time skip really Sasha here. Was so pretty.
She kind of looked like Hanji to me.
Like Hanji's little sister. Yeah. I
I
always thought that Sasha reminded me of, like, a Hanji little sister.
Man... Sasha's so cool. Like, it's not just like having the funny I like food bit. I think a lot of what did it for Sasha for me was like her skill. And remember the one episode we got of her with the bow and arrow?
And she's the one that took down the artillery on Peak's back.
Yeah.
She was pivotal in that fight, in my opinion.
Okay.
That's how Sasha's the reason they were able to get Zeke up into the airship. Because the guns were gone. And if Levi had gotten shot by those guns as he swooped down on the Beast Titan...
I love the whole idea of Levi and Zeke having to work together during this, calling each other names and then improv riffing off each other to buy more time.
It's so entertaining.
So good. I was thinking about how Zeke called out, like, you're running out of time, Levi. And I'm like, you fucking troll. Like, in hindsight. Like, it's... Like, they were... pulling a fast one on everyone. Do you want to read the mid-roll?
Oh, but that's so interesting that you just said that.
Yeah.
Now we know what it means. Now it means,
of it.
Hey, the airship is running late and now I'm actually going to have to kill some of your people.
Yeah. Or I think more specifically, I see that Peak and Jaw are back in the fight. That's not according to plan.
And now I'm going to have to throw more rocks than I had planned.
Yeah. Okay, mid-roll.
Okay. The military's official bolt-action rifle. It fires 5 shots and can be equipped with the standard issue knife as a bayonet.
Pretty cool.
Which I always thought was cool, the knife.
Yeah.
So she could have only killed 5 people, is what I'm gathering.
She tried.
Right? She did try, and she almost shot Jean in the head.
Yeah. See, she was on a mission.
And wait, did Falco knock her out of the way?
Yes.
So Falco's the reason she didn't kill more people.
At least Jean, yes. I think so.
Interesting.
I know. I think I want...
Interesting. Falco kept her from killing more people.
If these children are put in holding cells, let them be next to each other so I can hear them talk about this. Is this supposed
to be like Mikasa and Eren when they were next to each other in holding cells?
I don't know.
And you had one of your favorite moments ever in the show, which was seeing Mikasa with Bedhead?
That was a great moment. That was a great moment.
Oh, so, okay.
Now
Are Gabby and Falco going to Paradise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they're thrown out of the plane. I don't think that's going to happen.
They're not going to be killed. If they're returned to Marley, there would be only repercussions, maybe. I don't know. Because, okay, if they were returned to Marley, they could tell everyone that Zeke was a part of the plan.
Yeah.
But wouldn't people start piecing that together after not being able to find Zeke? Or would they just think he was kidnapped? I already feel like Peek is suspicious of Zeke, so I don't know how that would fly necessarily.
I don't know if Peek is suspicious of Zeke at all. I think Peek is suspicious of Yolinda, and I think that they've spaced out Yelena.
Yelena?
Yelena. I think that Peek is suspicious of Yelena, and the way that they spaced out Zeke returning and then Yelena leaving, I think looks not suspicious. Like, I don't think it looks as suspicious of in between connections between the two. So I think it's a very real possibility that Peek doesn't, or nobody suspects Zeke and just think he was taken.
No, but isn't that suspicious? If Peek knows that this person was supposed to be disappeared and Zeke knew this person as well and Zeke doesn't react to this person being in front of them, leading them somewhere?
But fake beard.
It's a fake beard.
I don't know. It's interesting, though.
It was a fake beard.
It was a fake beard all along.
I knew when that the eyes were not Armin's eyes. I mean, obviously I hadn't seen what time skip Armin looked like, but I just no, those aren't his eyes.
I have one note that I wrote down in my phone right after the reaction, and it auto-corrected, so I don't know what it could be about. What I have is, who was Fabulous aiming at? I would think Falco, because F, but I don't remember a scene that Falco was aiming at anybody.
What, did you want to know who Gabby was aiming at?
No, because that's obvious, right?
Falco never tried to.
I know, but what could autocorrect with the word fabulous that would line up with me questioning when somebody was aiming at somebody else, you know?
The only time we saw aiming last episode was Gabby with the gun.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll remember it. Who knows?
Oh my gosh, I just realized that Falco's brother witnessed both Gabby and Falco get dragged up into the airship.
Someone needed to witness it.
Someone did need to witness it.
He's going to be so upset that he's not going to get the Beast Titan. But I love the attention to detail in the show. Like when the ODM gear from the blimp was just being taut with it. And you could see the string of it going up to the top corner of the barrel. I don't know. I love the attention to detail in the show. All right. That's all I have. You?
I think that's all I have.
At the moment?
I think I'm just wondering if next episode is going to be a continuation of this flight home or back at home is my question. I think that it could. I'm going to make one of two guesses, okay? It's going to be either this or this. Next episode, we're going to get to learn what's happened in the past 3 years on the blimp. That we're going to be on the blimp, and during the blimp ride, we're going to be learning. Or we're going to be in the aftermath of Marley. Huh. What do you think? I think that we've already heard all that we're meant to hear on this airship. So I don't think we're going to be on the airship next episode. Okay. I think that it's going to be returning to Paradise, Gabby and Falco, something to do with them, Historia. Okay. But I do want to say I don't understand what the quote on the screen is right now. Why grow a beard if you can't eat it? Huh? Say, are we eating soon? Why grow a beard if you can't eat it? Who says that? Who is saying that? I'm assuming Sasha, right? Who else would say something about eating a beard? But then someone asks, are we eating soon? Which also could be what Sasha's saying. We're not playing the audio for it, and that's why I don't know who's saying what. I think it's Connie saying, excuse me, Jean, you're the idiot for always fussing over your tiny-ass beard. Huh? He's saying, huh, and then Sasha saying, that's right, why grow a beard if you can't eat it? And then both of them are reacting to that, being like, what, huh? And then Sasha's like, say, while we're on the subject, okay, so it was soon? Sasha. I didn't even catch that line, but if I had really paid attention to it, I would have been like, what? What a useless leader you are. But also, they already dissed someone else's tiny-ass beard, the fake beard. Jean needs to shave immediately. He has been dissed, directly and non-directly twice in this episode. They don't like beards in Attack on Titan right now. I want Eren to shave his mustache.
Really?
Please and thank you. Yes. Please and thank you.
It's kind. What about his little chin?
Doesn't Zeke have facial hair?
Yeah. What about his little chin? Aaron's like little chin.
No, I like when it looks like an actual beard and it's not like the drawn stubble. Like I like stubble in real life, but in this form I think it's kind of creepy. So either have a full beard or nothing, huh?
I said I have a friend who only can grow facial hair like right here and right here, and it looks pretty similar to Aaron. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about? Yeah, when he had long hair. Yeah.
Yeah. He could have been that for Halloween.
Yeah, interesting.
It's a great costume idea.
All right, you good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.
Kill two birds with one stone kind of situation. Kill two birds with one stone kind of situation. Kill two birds with one stone kind of situation.
Kill two birds with one stone kind of situation.